Hello, assalamu alaikum, and good afternoon, my dear all friends. It's me, Ahmad Rashid Ahmad, with a new English lesson. Before beginning our today's lesson, I want you all to like and subscribe my YouTube channel, starting with the name of most merciful and most compassionate. Today's lecture is about verb. What is verb? Verb is got from a Latin word verbum, and also as we know that verb is a part of a speech, and also verb describe a state, action, occurrence, and also being. For example, hear, see, and also play. There are many kinds of verbs in English language. For example, stative verbs that they talk about the state of an action. Dynamic verb that they talk about duration, also about the actions, and also transitive verb or those verb that they are talking about actions with a receiver, and a transitive verb or those verb that they are talking an action without any receiver, and the regular verb or those verb that they are talking about the verb that they accept their rules, and the irregular verb or those verb that they are talking about the verbs or about the action that they do not accept any rule, and also causative verbs or those verbs that they cause someone else to do or to be something. And what are facilitative verbs? Facilitative verbs indicate resulting condition or state. And also there are two of the most important kinds of verb as well in English language, which are called finite verb and also non-finite verb. Today we're going to talk about finite verb and also non-finite verb. And now it's time to talk about finite verb and also non-finite verb. What are finite verb? Finite verb are those verbs that they accept change according to the tense, according to the person, and also according to the number. And what are non-finite verb? Non-finite verb are those verbs that they do not accept any changes. For example, I like playing. In this sentence, like is a finite verb because if we use like with a third singular, like will change its form and it get an s. She likes playing. But playing is a non-finite verb because it won't accept any change. And there are three kinds of finite verb, which are principal, linking, and also auxiliary. We also can call auxiliaries as an helper verbs. And there are three kinds of non-finite verb in English as well, which are infinitive, gerund, and also participle. And also auxiliary verbs are divided into two sections, which are primary auxiliary verbs and also modal auxiliary verbs. That in some places, in some academics, people or teachers or instructors or teaching their students that also there is another kinds of auxiliary verb which are called semi-modal auxiliary verb. But in general, we can say that there are only two kinds of auxiliaries, which are primary and also modal. Let's talk about principal verbs. Principal verbs are also called lexical verbs, and also we can call them main verb. In some places also they call main verb as a normal verb as well. What are main verb or principal verb? They provide information, and also they can express action. For example, he studied English. In this place, studied is a main verb in this sentence. And next one, which is what are linking verb? Linking verb are those verbs that they link subject with a subjective complement. What are subjective complement? Those things that they follow the linking words, they are called subjunctive complement. And a subjunctive complement can be an adjective. A subjunctive complement can be a noun, and also it can be a participle. For example, there are some linking words, linking verbs in here. For example, is, am, or, was, were. For example, I am in the class now on. In this place, am is a linking word which link a subject with a subjective complement. And now on, let's talk about auxiliaries. That what are auxiliaries? And now it's time to talk about the auxiliary verb or helper verb. What are auxiliary verb? Auxiliary verbs are those verbs that they come with a normal verb or with a main verb and express the meaning of a main verb as the tense. And there are two kinds of auxiliary verb, which are primary and also modal. What are primary auxiliary verb? Primary auxiliary verb are those verbs that they come with a main verb and they indicate the tense, and also they indicate the tense, and the modal verb they indicate mood and also tense. We can use primary auxiliary verb sometimes as a main verb in the sentences, but we cannot use modal verb as the main tense in our sentence. And there are many primary auxiliary verb in English, like for example, is, are, was, were, do, does, did, have, has. For example, I am studying English. In this place, am is also we can call am as a normal verb, and also we can say it is a auxiliary verb because it helps our sentence to change from a formative form to interrogative and also negative form. And what are modal verb? Modal verbs, as we said, they comes with a main verb and they indicate a mood and also or tense. And there are many modal auxiliary verb as well in English language. For example, can, could, shall, should, may, might. For example, I can swim in this ocean. And next one is what are non-finite verb. Non-finite verb, as we see that non-finite verbs are those verbs that they do not accept any change. And there are three kinds of non-finite verb in English, which are infinitive, gerund, and also participle. What are infinitive? Infinitive, to plus base form of the verb that mean as a noun is called infinitive. For example, I like to play. I like to play. I like to run. In this place, to run is an infinitive. And what is a gerund? Gerund verb plus an ing that mean or that comes as a noun is called gerund. For example, I like swimming. And what is the difference between infinitive and also gerund? As a trick, I want to teach you that infinitives, they are talking about generals, but when we are talking about some particular things, on that time we are using gerund. And also now it is time to talk about participle, that what are participles. And now on, it is time to talk about participle. That's what are participle. Participle formed from a verb and they act on as a verb, adjective or not verb. For example, the pen is broken. In this place, broken is a participle. And also, there are three types of participle in English, which are present participle, past participle, and also perfect participle. Present participle is made from a verb and ing. For example, eating. And past participle is the third form of the verb is called past participle form of the verb. And what is the perfect participle? Perfect participle having plus third form of the verb is called perfect participle. And for example, she plays soccer. She studied English. Having played soccer, she studied English. Rarely, this kind of participle is used in English language. And also, I want to mention the last thing about a verb, that a verb can has 5 forms. The first form, which is the base form, the second form, which is the past form, the third form, which is the past participle form, the fourth form, which is the s and es form, which we use for the third singular and simple present tense, and also the ing form of a verb. And it was our today's lesson about the verb. And if you have any question, any session, or compliment, you can text me via my WhatsApp chat room and also my FB account. I hope you enjoyed and learned some new things. Do not forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Have a nice and great time. Wish you all the best. Take care of yourself. Be blessed. Goodbye.